What's up, folks? My name is Trail, better known as Budget Bill, and today I have another stimulus update video for you. Today we are going to be talking about what happened to Mr. Trumpy's bigger check than the Democrats, as well as the current Stonewall in the White House. That's our topic for today, but before we get started, if this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can be a part of it. Also, be sure to smash that like button as it really helps the channel grow. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. What's up, folks, and thanks for sticking around. So what is going to happen with the second stimulus check? Are we going to get it or not? Are we going to get it soon or later? We still don't know yet. And as the enhanced unemployment benefits officially expired last Friday, millions of Americans are left to wonder what to do next. Tens of millions of Americans have lost their lifeline, which was perhaps a job in which was their only source of income to feed their family. Or also, one thing that we typically don't mention on this channel is how about the millions of people who have lost a friend or a loved one due to the illness, unable to visit them or attend services, and even unable to travel to be with their loved ones in other states, considering the restraint on commercial flights. In addition, over 12 million Americans lost their eviction protection from their homes as the moratoriums have expired. And all of this is happening at the same time. Why couldn't Mr. Trumpy just make an executive order to get stimulus checks out to the American people? Why couldn't Mr. Trumpy make an executive order to extend the enhanced unemployment benefits past the July 31st deadline? Those are questions that we just don't know. However, what we do know is, as of late Friday afternoon, Mr. Trumpy did state he was going to perform an executive action to ban the social media platform TikTok from operating in the United States. Perhaps that was more important for him instead of the American people. Now, we can clearly see that we can't depend on Mr. Trumpy to do what's best in interest of the American people. And we probably can't depend on the people in Congress, as they can't agree on any sort of agreement, which means more time is needed and more Americans will receive the shaft with no support in sight from the White House officials. I mean, answer this question for me. Why can't President Trumpy write an executive order to extend the eviction moratorium, or unemployment benefits, or more stimulus money? It's been 4 months since the first stimulus package was worked on, and since then, we have seen nothing more than conflicts, arguments, and finger pointing in the White House and with other people in office. Does it really take 4 months or longer to get something figured out? These are supposed to be the most top-level people in the White House that have been chosen to run this country and to protect the American people. One reason they can't get anything done because as soon as the ball gets rolling with some effective speed and negotiations, it's then time for Congress to take another recess break. Here we are on August the 3rd, and Congress is due for another August recess break starting on August the 10th. I think so. So will they be able to swallow their pride this week and get some solid progress before it's time to leave again? Obviously we just don't know yet. But moving on, earlier on Saturday, Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin dug into their stimulus positions prior to their scheduled Monday morning meetings. But after last week's multiple proposals from both parties and them being rejected by each other, this is clearly a Stonewall situation at this time. Bloomberg is reporting that the Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin doesn't think a deal can be done anytime soon. Mnuchin wants the Democrats to do a short-term deal to extend the $600 enhanced unemployment benefits. But the Democrats shot that down last week. So then Mnuchin started blaming the Democrats that it was their fault because they didn't want a 1-week short-term deal. Steve Mnuchin stated that they are prepared to do a deal on the top 2 issues at hand, which is the eviction moratorium, extending that, and the enhanced unemployment benefits of $600. In an interview earlier on Sunday, Steve Mnuchin said that President Trumpy supports the same amount of $1,200 for the second stimulus check as the last time. He said that Trumpy is in full support of $1,200. But I asked the question, What happened to Trumpy wanting a bigger check than the Democrats do? He stated that a few times last month, but now he is in full support of only $1,200? But he doesn't just only want the $1,200 stimulus checks, he also wants a few other changes to be implemented as well, such as the eviction moratorium to be extended and the unemployment benefits to be extended as well, which is what the Democrats are pushing also. But in addition, the White House also wants to have that $500 for dependents of all ages. That was stated by Mnuchin. So Steve is basically saying that he wants to get a short-term deal completed, but blaming it on the Democrats because they rejected the offer. Politics, right? Steve Mnuchin said that if there is a short-term bill that can be approved and signed this week, he can literally have checks printed out by the following week. And that's to nearly 50 million big fat stimulus checks to be printed and ready to go out to Americans. Mnuchin stated that this could have an enormous impact on the economy and really give it a boost, which is really needed at this time. So if they are able to strike a temporary deal this week, and knowing those timelines exist, that means Americans could start receiving checks as early as the second week of August. But I wouldn't hold my breath for that. Now, even though Steve Mnuchin is blaming the Democrats are still blaming the Republicans for stalling. Pelosi accuses the White House of holding out to push this thing longer while the American people receive the shaft in the end. Nancy stated that the $200 extension does not meet the needs of the working families. Now, she is open for renegotiating the $600 federal boost and perhaps to develop a tiered program to reduce the amount over time. She wants the $600 federal boost to be extended, and once the unemployment rate starts to drop, the federal boost incentive can drop to $500 and then maybe $400 and so on. Pelosi believes the amount of unemployment pay should relate directly to the amount of the unemployment rate that we have in this country. She states that the Democrats are unified and in line for the $600 enhanced unemployment extension, while the Republicans are disorganized and rather just drag this thing out longer than it should be at the expense of the American people. So, all in all, both parties are just continuously blaming the other side, as neither party can't have the right negotiations or agree to anything. Basically, no one is ready to budge on a simple topic as unemployment benefits or the eviction moratorium or the stimulus checks. I mean, these types of things call for both sides to give and take in order to get a bipartisan bill ready to be signed and sent to the president. So unless we have some major developments this week, we could be headed down the path of another 2+ weeks of nothing for the American people. We will continue to keep our eyes open this week as the negotiations are in full effect, with several meetings already scheduled for Monday morning. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoy these stimulus update videos, please smash that like button, as it really helps the channel grow. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is a great time to click on the subscribe button down below, as well as the bell next to it, so you can be notified every time I upload new videos. Again, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.